Hello and welcome to the We're back. The latest episode of the Racing Podblast with me, Tony Mack, and Ben Aiken from Narrowing the Field. And we are back after a couple of weeks' break. We are raring to go, ready to resume our normal pod blasting ways with Trials Day at Cheltenham. Our focus this week, we're covering 3 races from the Saturday action at Prestbury Park. And then it's the bit you've all been missing, our ongoing, I've never missed it, Football Trixie Battle, top, middle and bottom. Racing first though. And off to Cheltenham we go, starting with the Class 2 Timeform Novices Handicap Chase over 2 miles, 4.5 furlongs, due off at 12:40. The first of our 3 races under analysis this week. Ben, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your break. Can you start us off with that one?
Yeah, Tony, enjoyed the break in minus
Good.
17, North East Scotland. Jeez, oh, bloody hell. Jeezy peeps, I suppose is what you wish.
That's nuts.
Back to Yorkshire. Back into racing, so 12:40 Cheltenham Novices Handicap Chase, often an informative race for the Cheltenham Festival itself, this one. Last 6 winners all went on to run big races in March. Stage Star, Simply the Bets and Mr. Whittaker, they all won at the festival. After winning this, Imperial Alcazar and Ginny's Destiny, they both finished second in their festival races. 2019 winner Kildysart going on to run 4th in the Grade 1 Turners before going down by neck in Ultimate Handicap the year after. So well worth keeping the winner of this race firmly in mind for the festival itself in March. This year's renewal, I'm looking at a short list of Masaccio, Whistle Stop Tour and Resplendent Grey. Masaccio, he ran a decent third in the Cato Star and Novices Chase at Kempton over Christmas. The class and trip probably stretched him a bit that day, so he'll be happier dropping in trip and class here. If you look at him over trips shorter than 3 miles and at class 2 level and below, he is 4 wins and 4 places from 8 starts. His trainer Alan King, he's done well in this race from limited runners. He saddled 5 previously, 1 winning, 2 placing. One of the others fell 3 out when still bang there. So he'll have Masaccio bang ready to go here, and I think he should go well. A Whistle Stop Tour represents Lucinda Russell. He's looked good on his last 2 starts, both wins. Drops back in trip here, which is interesting as the Scottish National has been mentioned as a potential end-of-season target for Whistle Stop Tour. I just wonder if they're maybe thinking about going to the Ultimate Handicap at the festival in March before taking in the Scottish National. So maybe just want to give Whistle Stop Tour a taste of the Cheltenham fences prior to that. Does look a strong staying type, so the places are possibly more likely here for Whistle Stop Tour, but he's an interesting type and he's one I want to keep an eye on. And Resplendent Grey is the other on my shortlist. He bumped into handstands at Sandown last time out. That one boosted the form since by winning the Toten Chase by a wide margin next time out. Resplendent Grey bumped into Highland the time before that at the Cheltenham November meeting, a race where he finished ahead of Springwell Bay, who has since won a Class 1 handicap by 9 lengths off a mark of 145. So Resplendent Grey brings some very strong novice chase form to the table. Plenty about his form that suggests his mark of 143 should still be within range for him. And he also looks at a player here, Resplendent Grey. Of that bunch, I'd just about be siding with a Masaccio. He's got prime conditions to shoot for, and I think he looks decent value at around 6-1 and bigger. So Masaccio for me. Tony, what you got for this novice handicap chase?
I've got Masaccio as well, mate. I do good. Like it. Yeah, possibly the Grade 1 was beyond him on later start, but began the season in good form with a couple of starts at Newbury and including finishing second to the Jukebox Man. Co-owned by the McNeil family. As well, which I find quite interesting. He's solid and consistent for trainer Alan King and should go well with Tom Cannon in the saddle. I've also got to mention Whistle Stop too. I agree with everything you said, but Masaccio and Resplendent Grey are my 2 from the for the race. Three solid and consistent runs this season, including a win at Utoxeter in October. 3 from 7 on left-handed tracks, and all 5 career wins have come with Sean Bowen in the saddle as well. So Resplendent Grey, we're all against the favourite, aren't we? No mention for Jaguar at all today. Resplendent Grey and Masaccio for me, with a special mention, and listen back to what Ben says about Whistle Stop Tour as well for the 1240. Good stuff. Onto the 150, the Class 1 Betfair Handicap Chase over 2 miles, 4.5 furlongs. Ben, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, some decent race trends at play in this Class 1 handicap. 11 of the last 12 winners met the following. Age 6, 7 or 8, had 2 or 3 starts in the last 90 days, had no more than 19 career starts, and had no more than 15 chase starts. 3 meet those trends this year. Irocco, Moon d'Orange, and Some Scope. Irocco is still unexposed as a chaser after only 5 chase starts, although given he was bumped and fell at the first last time out, it's probably fair enough to say he's only really had the 4 chase starts. He finished 5th in the Turners novice chase at last year's Cheltenham Festival, followed it up with a second behind I Know the Way You're Thinking in the Grade 1 Mildmay chase at Aintree. So he's got plenty of decent form on his chase CV already, as well as some high-class form that he showed over hurdles, which included a win in the 2023 Martin Pipe Hurdle at the festival. So no surprise to see Irocco vying for favouritism here. Not hard to see him playing a part in the finish of this race. And Moon d'Orange is the other unexposed type in the race. This is his first season over fences, and he's already had 2 spins over the Cheltenham fences, over 3 miles and over 3 mile 1. His 2 career wins to date have come over 2 mile 5 and 2 mile 6, so I think this drop back and trip should suit him. Slight worry for him would be the form of the John McConnell yard. He's only 2 from 104 the last 60 days and 0 from 41 the last 30 days, so struggling a bit for winners, although they have had a couple knocking on the door recently, and maybe signs in McConnell yard are about to start picking up some winners again. And Some Scope, he's the other on the trend shortlist. He won the Rowan Merrick at Wetherby last time out, and he's only up £4 for that win. These are conditions he goes well under. Left-handed tracks, a field of 13 or less, and a break of 70 days or less, where he is 4 wins and a place from 6 starts. A little surprised that they dropped back to a mid-range trip with him here, as his wins have all come over 3 mile plus. Although in fairness, 3 of his 5 runs over shorter than 3 miles came in maiden hurdles at the start of his career. So these mid-range trips they're not something they've really explored yet with Some Scope. I also think Ginny's Destiny is worth a mention. It's easy enough to forgive his 2 starts so far this season. He'll have needed his seasonal debut run in the Paddy Power Gold Cup, and he won't have enjoyed right-handed Huntington last time out. On left-handed tracks and off breaks, so 60 days or less, he is 5 wins and 3 seconds from 8 starts. So more suitable conditions for Ginny's Destiny here, and he could well bounce back to form. It looks a tight handicap, this, but I'm going to side with Some Scope. I think he looks overpriced for this at around 10 to 1 or bigger, and I think he travels well enough to cope with this drop in trip. So Some Scope for me. Tony, what you got for this handicap chase?
Yeah, it's a tight one, isn't it, Ben? And it's certainly a tricky one. I've got a mention here for Soul Icon, who has been solid and another one solid and consistent, mainly apart from his run at Sandown in December in the Henry VIII Novices Chase. But he did finish second of 5 in a Grade 2 Novices Chase on seasonal debut at Wincanton before winning I managed to give it out on TalkSport as well, this one, Soul Icon. Nice. On the Christmas at the Christmas meeting in the Grade 2 Desert Orchid, winning at 16 to 1. Was that a fluke? Well, we'll find out. He had Edward Stone behind him that day as well. So a mention for Soul Icon. Moon d'Orange, I've got as well. I agree with you about the John McConnell yard, but I do 4 race maiden over the larger obstacle. Has hit the frame on a couple of occasions. Best effort on later start at Newbury last month, finishing second of 8, beaten 3.5 lengths. 130 rated over Timber. The 7-year-old has a positive booking in Sean Bowen, I feel, here. And there's Irocco as well, course winner, also a winner over a similar trip as well. Beaten favourite last time out when, as Ben said, hampered at the start, or at the first rather. when he fell at the first after being hampered. But he did run well on the seasonal debut in a graduation chase at Haydock, finishing second of 6-2. Trelawn beaten half a length. He's 1 from 3 over fences. All 4 career victories have come on a left-handed track. And you can, as I say, forget the last run. And he could be a big player in the colours of JP McManus, Iroko and Moon d'Orange. For me tomorrow in that 150 race. We jump an hour and a half ahead to the 3:35 big race of the day, Grade 2 Cleeve Hurdle over 3 miles. Dying to know what you've got in this, Ben.
Yeah, not a race I've got a strong set of race trends for, but I did notice one stat of interest from the last 12 renewals. 10 of the last 12 winners were either the top-rated horse on official ratings or no more than £6 below the top-rated horse. Only 2 fit that stat this year. Crambo and Strong Leader.
Yay.
They are also the 2 that dominate the betting. I think the race does look between that pair, but I'd probably also throw Monmiral into the mix. Crambo was a gutsy winner of the long walk hurdle last time out. I'm not 100% convinced he'll put the same performance in here. I still think he's at his absolute best going right-handed. His left-hand, right-hand splits also hint at that. 6 from 6 right-handed compared to 2 from 7 left-handed. So I wouldn't be scared to take him on. Equally won't be surprised if he proves that wrong, what I've just said, but definitely not scared to take Crambo on. A Strong Leader, on the other hand, he is one who I think definitely needs to be going left-handed. He bombed out badly in the long walk hurdle last time out at right-handed Ascot. It never looked happy in that contest at any stage. They've given him a wind up since that run, so maybe there was something more at play than just the track. And Ollie Murphy Geldens on their first run off a wind up, they do hold some solid stats, especially at hurdlers that start an SP of 8-1 or less. 16 winners, 13 placed from 53 qualifiers, 30% win strike rate, 55% win play strike rate, over 30 points profit. Stats that Strong Leader meets with here. Finished third in this race last year. That was his first try at 3 miles that day. They maybe weren't sure if he stayed the trip or not then. They definitely know he stays the trip now, and they can maybe ride him a little more aggressively this year, knowing stamina isn't an issue. A Strong Leader. And Monmiral, he's the other I mentioned. Not always been the most straightforward of horses, but when he's raced over hurdles and has carried 11 stone 6 or less, he's returned form of 5 wins and a second from 6 starts. He gets those conditions here. And his winning the Pertemps final last year tells us this trip and track are perfect for him. So if one is going to potentially shake up the front 2, I suspect it will be Monmiral. But I'm going to side with Strong Leader here. I like those Ollie Murphy wind-up stats. I think we should see a much better effort from the horse now he's back on a left-handed track. So Strong Leader for me, Tony. What you got for the Cleeve?
Yeah, just before Mo, I basically 100% agree with on Crambo. It was amazing listening to you. I thought you'd been sort of screen sharing or something. It's a horse that keeps proving me wrong. Certainly at this time of year is his time of year as well, Crambo. And I've put down it won't be easy for him, and easy to take him on, but also a bit difficult to dismiss as well. So 100% agree with you, mate, on Crambo. But I'm going in on Crambo and Strong Leader with a Dutch. Strong Leader never at the races when last seen finishing last of 10 behind. Who was he behind? Crambo, yes, Crambo, behind Crambo. I've just left it blank. Why have I done that? Winner of the Grade 1 Liverpool Hurdle at the Grand National meeting in April and has improved, Strong Leader, £11 in the last month. Foolish to dismiss on his last effort. 2 others, Ben here, Garlaw still has a big run in him over hurdles, I think. Obviously he's a chaser, unless he's using this. I don't know why he'd come into this race as a prep race for something big at Cheltenham, but Garlaw is interesting back over hurdles. Monmiral, totally agree with you on that one as well. Nichols' horses are in and out of form at the minute, though, as they usually are around this time of year. Some are winning by half the track and the others are getting tailed off. So it's a bit difficult to hold a gauge around last 2 weeks in January and first week in February on Nicholls horses. But Montmoral, certainly one worth watching, possibly to play in running, possibly on Montmoral. You'll soon see how he's going after a couple of hurdles. But Strong Leader and Crambo for me as a Dutch tomorrow in the Cleeve Hurdle. The race is off at 3:35. It's over 3 miles. It's a Grade 2 contest worth 40 grand to the winner. Good race tomorrow to finish off, nearly finish off the Cheltenham card. Right now, it's soccer.
The great thing about loving football is you cannot explain why you love it. It just happens. Chasing a ball round a park, wanting one team to win against the other.
El Mahoney, right foot, whips it. Oh, jeez, he peeps, man.
Yes, time for round 24, top, middle and bottom. Couple of weeks since our last round, so an update on the state of play. Great to be back.
Yeah, well, we both are the winners on our last top, middle and bottom.
Oh, did we?
I picked off 2 winners for a return of plus 1.4.
Oh.
Tony, you had 1 cancelled match, 1 winner and 1 loser. A return of -2. Current totals for us now sit at me plus 17.66. Tony minus 36.39. So
Apologies, everyone.
As I keep saying, two big results and you'd be straight back in the profit. And back to the grind this week, though. My top, middle and bottom is top Ayr to beat Partick Thistle at 19-20. Ayr have come back to form in recent weeks after going off the boil a little. They've won 4 of the last 5 league matches. They've scored 11 and conceded only 2 during that spell. They're also coming off the back of an 8-0 win in the Cup last week. I think they should be able to take care of Partick here at home. So Ayr for me in the top section. Middle, Queen of the South to beat dodgy Dumbarton at 4-5. Queen of the South continue to hold the best home record in the league. They've won 8 of their 11. They've only lost once at home in the league. They picked up a battling home win against Inverness on Tuesday. I think they'll have too much for dodgy Dumbarton here. They're coming off the back of a 5-1 cup defeat last weekend.
Blimey.
And they've been leaky at the back on the road all season. So Queen of the South for me in the middle. And bottom, Stirling to beat Bonnyrigg Rose at 6-5. 2 teams that wouldn't be in the best of form right now, but Stirling have strengthened their team during this transfer window already. A little unlucky not to pick something up against title challengers Peterhead last week. So I'll take Stirling to round out my top, middle and bottom, giving me a top, middle and bottom of top Ayr, middle Queen of the South and bottom Stirling. Tony, what do you have?
I'm going the same with you, mate. It's at the top. That was very difficult. Some funny old games on the championship this week. Ayr to beat Partick Thistle at 19-20. I have in the middle Stenhousemuir to beat Cove Rangers at home at 11-10. Blimey. And Elgin away to our very own Clyde. 27-20 though. That's a good price for a away win at Clyde. So Elgin away at Clyde. Stenhousemuir against Cove. Stenhousemuir to win that at 11-10 in the middle. And at the top, Ayr to beat Partick at 19-20. Many thanks for listening to the latest edition of the Racing Podblast. Very best of luck with your bets at Cheltenham this weekend, and it should be a good day tomorrow. Quite looking forward to it. You can catch me on 3B's Radio Breakfast throughout the week, and you can also catch more from Ben on narrowingthefield.co.uk. That is narrowingthefield.co.uk. Thanks all again. It's great to be back, gang, and we'll see you all again next week. Cheers, Ben.
Cheers, Tony.